Hi everyone, I'm Sunny and today's video will be about whether you would mesh well with that group of friends. So I have 3 piles you guys can choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, and 3. And if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video. This will be a yes or no format. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will start with the first pile. So for pile number 1, you guys have the Queen of Cups upright. So would you mesh well with this group of friends? This is a yes for you. So for this pile, I think that if you're thinking about maybe joining a new, like, I'm usually assuming that most of these piles are for you to join other groups, right? So if you feel like you have to join, or like if you're wondering if you would mesh well with like new people, or if you already have an established group, it feels like it's very welcoming, very nurturing. A lot of strong female energy here, or just very feminine energy. And maybe that's what you've been seeking for. Maybe you've been having trouble making female friendships that are strong or long lasting. Not necessarily because they have to be catty all the time. It just means that sometimes, because of unforeseen obstacles or for unforeseen events, you can't commit to those friendships. Maybe because you guys move away from each other, or maybe because there's like other distance issues, work issues, or just family like dynamics being different, and just maybe you guys see values a lot more differently, and that's why it's more difficult to remain in those groups for long periods of time. So if you are thinking about joining a certain group, this is a positive yes. Queen of Cups feels like people would nurture you and listen to you and communicate from the heart space, and you would enjoy that. I think you would enjoy feeling like people are actually taking notice of how you decide to describe things, or you decide to actually open up. I think you'll feel more comfortable opening up about more sensitive topics, or just things that you just kind of not necessarily keep to yourself, but you don't easily open up to people because not everybody wants to talk deeper subjects, right? Doesn't have to be deep, but just more in depth, more descriptive topics, right? Sometimes it can be like maybe you are having issues with like your appearance, and you keep certain things to yourself because you feel like maybe people would judge you. This feels like people would listen to you with open arms and be like, well, not necessarily that they're trying to give you advice, but they would let you vent, and they would be like, so do you want to, like, for me to say an opinion? Do you want to try other stuff? Or, well, how do you want to go about it that way? Like, they would let you be the person to take charge or take initiative of where you want to go, and like follow that with, if you get what I'm trying to say. They're not someone who's gonna like implement themselves first before you. I think they're very much the kind of people who would allow you to let yourself flow. They would go with you basically, or they would be a great supportive system when you feel like you need more help, right? So like emotional help, like maybe you had to go through like some more serious things, like maybe the loss of someone or the loss of a pet, and then you end up meeting with these people, and these people like listen to you, and they are supportive of you, and they're there, and they're like trying to cheer you up and stuff. Like they're people who will have your back. So it feels great, it feels healthy, but that's a yes for you. And I think you're feeling encouraged to kind of mingle with the opportunity also to like express yourself differently. Maybe like go with like do things like in a creative way, where like maybe you meet this group of women, or stronger women, or just more female energy compared to men, comparing the ratio. Maybe you could like meet them in like a knitting group. Or maybe it's one of those like healing things for your soul, where you start like doing things like gardening. Like it feels like you have a little cute creative flow, and like a group where you feel comfortable, where you can spend quite some time exploring that, and you have a lot of time to communicate and talk about your emotions and your problems and stuff like that. But yeah, it feels healthy. So thank you, pile number 1. Pile number 2, you guys have a no. You guys have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So sorry. So for this pile, this is a no. And remember, take this as as it resonates with you. Sometimes no's can be positive. So it feels like maybe this is not the right opportunity for you to invest yourself in this new group, or this group that you're thinking about that you feel like, is it gonna work out? Take a second look, because maybe some things need to change. If it's not you trying to invest yourself in others, like maybe it's the sign where you should invest yourself more in yourself than seeking out the approval of others or seeking out help from others. Because I think not necessarily that isolation is the best answer right now, but more so having more time to kind of think about your thoughts on your own time would help you clear out certain things. I think maybe you can talk about your finances. That can be an issue too. Or maybe like the distance, like if it's not necessarily people, it could be the distance. Like maybe that's why it's not helpful to you to invest yourself in this group, because they could live far away, or you like they want to meet up and you just don't have gas money, or you just don't have the money to travel like through bus or whatever. So it can be like that. Not necessarily a bad group of people, just people that just expect you to kind of, meet them there and travel there. Or maybe they expect you to put in some more work, and maybe it's a little bit too much for you right now, not the appropriate time to handle that. Or it's also the fact that they can feel like they're a little bit more calculating in a way where it's like, if they're not gaining something by it, they're not going to invest themselves in you. So maybe you're seeking out more of an emotional connection and comfort from this group of friends, and the group of friends that you happen to strive for happen to be more like earthy people, and there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe they have very different intentions, and their intentions might not be malicious, but more so focused on how they can wow, sorry, that southern southern voice. How they can actually provide a long-term investment for themselves that feels rewarding to them. So what am I going to benefit from this? Like, am I going to benefit from this in a connection where if I keep this friendship, are they going to connect me to the right people that where I can get a job? Or am I going to connect in a way where I can make a business deal with them and gain money? Or like, it just feels like they're very business orientated, and you're just not in that kind of style of value. Like, that's very different values that you guys have. Or maybe they're more serious, or you feel like maybe they might be a little bit more like, to me, because it's reversed, it might be a little bit more immature about how they go about it. Like when it comes to investing themselves in people and their finances, or just the way they invest their values in, it just feels like maybe they need some growing up to do, and you're just like, I'm already past that. It feels kind of like that, where it's like maybe you gotta tweak it up a bit more when it comes to this group or different groups. Just try different groups. Or maybe it's just that you could be the mature one all the time, and you want more mature friends, and you don't get that. Or they might just be younger and they want very different things in life too. So that's why it wouldn't necessarily work out right now. So it might, like, I think overall, Spirit might be trying to tell you that the best way to go about it is just to wait a little bit longer, and then you can invest yourself, with the Ace of Pentacles, into a different friendships or different group, and that's when it's going to be more beneficial for you, a lot more rewarding. So do take what resonates and leave what doesn't, but that's what I have for you, pile number 2. Next, pile number 3, you guys have a yes. This is the 5 of Swords upright. So it's pile number 3. I keep moving the cards and I'm sorry. Quick water break. So pile number 3, this is a yes. You will have it seems like you investing yourself in this new group will be beneficial for you. However, it is like a fighting. Okay, so if I had to put it in the most positive aspect, maybe you're thinking about joining a more like physical type of group, which is focused more on releasing energy, right? So even though it's not a fire wand kind of energy, it's still energetic. So I feel that in the best case scenario, you're joining like maybe like a yoga. No, yoga is slower. It's a little bit more demanding. Is Pilates more demanding type of energy kind of group? Exercise, maybe you're like, you're thinking about a certain like gym workout group. That's demanding. And it takes a lot. Why is it coming in and out of focus? Sorry. And it takes a lot more effort in you. So it might be a little bit more tiresome for you, but it's exciting for you because you're looking out for the prospect of building up resistance, endurance, to basically have stamina. So it feels like, even though it can be like that, I don't know why it just feels like, why is it fighting like a good thing? Is it like, what kind of group are you thinking about? Power number 3. Is it like a group where you're like trying to fight off the competition, or like a running group? Or if it's like, it could also be it could be very much a verbal group of communication. So like a drama channel, right? A drama group, someone who like likes to give gossip fast. Maybe you're the kind of person who's like living for that kind of lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, what exactly about fighting is good, that's positive in here? It's what I'm trying to make of it. Does it make you feel more alive? Does it give you endurance? Is it giving you like the opportunity to defeat enemies, and that's a thrill for you? Like, it's a thrill-seeking kind of thing. Fulfilling, is it fulfilling to do that kind like of stuff? Like, what is it about this group that makes you feel like that? But somehow it feels a little bit more different than compared to the other piles, and I can't put my finger on it. Why? I mean, yeah, you'll do great in this group. Sure, it came out as a positive, but I wonder why. Is it because you're going to be the leader? Like, you have to fight off people, like, to be the leader? Maybe it's like, it doesn't have to be like, it could be like, I wanted to be part of the debate team. And I finally had the guts to tell this person off, or like, I did all my research, and like, I basically counted all my ducks in a row, or whatever that's called, but you finally were able to beat up the competition. Now you get to be the leader and basically boss people around. It could be like that. But it's interesting. I'm like, why does it feel like you're proud in a good way? Like, sure, there, like, you could also take the other side of like, you could be the person who loses, but how is this a good thing? Maybe you lose one to gain one. So like, you lose a group of friends and you feel isolated and defeated because you argued with them a lot, there was a lot of drama, and then you walk away into a different kind of group that's healthier. That could be it too. Very different scenarios that I get with this one, but it just feels like when there's like rain, it clears out, and then it's finally a rainbow and sunny. So it feels like that, where maybe you are coming from this negative side of friendship groups into more positive, healing ones, much more funnier ones, lighthearted ones. Even then, I feel like it's more lighthearted. I feel like you're going into more lighthearted energy here, of like, I used to get a lot of stress with them and anxiety, and I just never knew how to trust, and like, I had to watch my back. Every time I said something, I had to double check if somebody opened their mouth, or like, I had to kind of give bits and pieces out just to make sure that they weren't talking ish about me behind my back, to see who I could trust. So maybe that could be it. You had to be a lot more protective of that. That could be it too. Like, you had to protect yourself from more snaky people, and you're going into much more healthier relationships with the group. So this is why it feels, yes, like you defeated that and you're growing as a victor into something else, and that's why it's a positive fighting. Yes. I didn't think about that. That is a good way of thinking. Healthier, much more exciting, and fun. So that's how I see this as a positive. You learned to not associate yourself with like people like that. So that's what I have for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in a different video. So bye, everybody.